Albany Community Action Partnership is the local community action agency. That's an organization that comes really out of the Johnson years Great Society legislation. And it's intended to be a vehicle to have the private sector partner with the public sector. And our focus is on trying to help people help themselves rather than just handing things out. And the whole idea is to make people feel that they're empowered and that they have control of their lives and to gain skills to do that. Agencies such as ACAP, the community action agencies, I think are particularly apt or adept at being involved in that process because that's exactly what they are, is they're trying to bring together in partnership various entities, both public and private, and that's what ACAP tries to do, is to try to either partner with other agencies or encourage other agencies to partner with each other and be a catalyst for those kinds of things. And I think that's what the region as a whole is interested in, is having everybody involved rather than having everybody struggling on their own. I got involved in the agency quite a number of years ago when I was asked to just join the board. An attorney that was on the board was leaving, and so they needed to fill a space to have an attorney. And I looked into it, thought that it was something that I was interested in, and I did join the board and was very happy I did. It turned out to be a great thing. Oh, the people are great to work with. It's very heartening to see people that have actually been customers of ACAP become part of the board and also employees of the organization, and then also move on into other jobs and areas. It's really heartening to watch.
Companies is a commercial real estate development business based in Albany, New York, dealing primarily with retail development. As a primary business in the community, we have to look at broad support. You have to look at all the things that are, sort of selfishly speaking, are very important to raising a good business in an area, and education, healthcare, organizations with underprivileged youth and whatever that can't provide for themselves. I think we need to respond to the needs of a broad cross-section of organizations. In order to have a strong business community, you have to have all of these organizations be successful on their own. You need to have education be successful. You need health care. You need organizations like 15 Love, where we work with thousands of young people a year in order to build a community. There's a need to recognize the youth of our cities, and we deal with over 3,000 every year, and to make sure these folks have a home and have some stability and are taught the appropriate behaviors in the community, and bring them up as good, solid adults. There's quite a bit of frontier out there, and I think we've got a great start. And I'm personally very enthusiastic because I was born and brought up here, and it's a great community, and it's got tremendous future and great wealth. Our company is very fortunate to be here. We've enjoyed great success with hard work and the blessing of our Lord, and as my father always maintained, if you have found some success in the community, you really need to give back to that community, and that's what we're here for.
Trinity Institution was established in 1912. It's known as a settlement house. By settlement house, we mean that it meets the basic needs of families, and we've continued that tradition. We have a food pantry. We help families where there are children who might be developmentally delayed get their children ready for preschool. We're also a community center, and so we help families and children through a variety of programs, such as our after-school program, our GED program, computer instruction, financial literacy, our Dancing with Our Elders program, bicycle repair workshop, to find the kinds of activities and programs that they would find in any community center or perhaps at the library. What really excites me about Trinity is that we have been able to create that connection to what's happening around us, and that it really is a concrete, on-the-ground reality in this agency that we have been able to create those pipelines. What I like to say about Trinity is that this agency is not owned or run by professionals. It's not the people in the suits and the ties and the jackets who are running this agency. It is the volunteers to a large extent, and it's as real as it gets here. You know, there are no frills. Whatever it is, what you see is what you get. So what volunteers experience here in terms of giving back, I think it feeds them in terms of their own life and livelihood. There's a sense of warmth and exchange and connection, heart to heart between people that really adds to people's lives. And I think that today, with television and the internet, we have a tendency to get disconnected from one another. Not only is a healthy community important for the name of the region and for business, but it also is, it's good business practice. If you know who your customer is, then you know what to expect and you know what they need. And the only way to do that is not from across a counter, it's from being in connection with people.
St. Anne Institute is a residential community-based program that provides services to children and families both in the Albany-Schenectady area and throughout New York State. The biggest part of our program is our residential program. We have a capacity of 117 adolescent girls. The girls in our residential program come from all over New York State. They've experienced problems at home, in the community, in the public school. Basically, they have very poor self-images of themselves. And we provide programming, structured programming, for them to begin to feel better about themselves. Every girl here has a therapist, a social worker that works with the girl and with the family. Every girl here has a case manager that coordinates what's going on with the girl in the agency and making plans for them to return back home and return back to the county. But we're also certified in special education. So our classes won't get larger than 6 girls in a class with a certified teacher. And in most cases, there's an assistant in the classroom with the teacher. So it's a generous staffing ratio. But again, we need to provide an environment where the girls begin to feel better about themselves. And success in the school program is an integral part of that. They haven't succeeded in school prior to coming here. Their first reaction to a problem would be to run away from the problem. So we provide that structured environment, we provide the individual attention to show them that they can do the work and to begin to feel better about themselves. Well, I think, you know, the personal satisfaction of knowing that we are making people's lives better, that you know, we're dealing with the girls in our program and their families. Years ago, girls used to be here 2 to 3 years, which was a long time, and I think it was too long a time. Now, the average amount of time is 8 to 10 months. Over 85% of our girls return back home to their families and return back to their public schools and return back to the community. But what I get out of it is knowing that we're able to provide that opportunity for the girls and their families. We're preparing girls to return back home to be productive, positive members of the community. So I think that mission fits in with what the focus and what the direction is of, you know, not only the Albany and Schenectady region, but, you know, regions throughout the state.
The Proctor's board was seeking new leadership with the death of their previous director. And I came here to Schenectady for an interview and saw a town that was kind of disastrous looking. Went into the board and said, oh my God, what happened? But also learned that the community was teeing up to move, to do something, you know, from the development of the Metroplex Development Authority to the long-standing support and volunteerism that Proctor's had. 1,000 volunteers. I mean, it's an incredible political statement, never mind support structure. And it just seemed, as one of my board members said, everything's teed up. We just need somebody with a swing. So yeah, I was here to take a swing. The facilities changed so much. People think of it as the old vaudeville theater, people who live here all their life. But when someone new comes to the area, Proctor's doesn't necessarily mean anything. What's a Proctor's? We had done some market research at the beginning of the project 7, 8 years ago to say, what should we do with our name? And the stuff that came back was, you sort of own entertainment in the capital region. So we decided to lean on that pretty heavily. I love that the demand keeps going up. The future of this region is asking for more, you know, wanting more, because people are coming from other communities that have had more and their expectations are higher, and higher expectations mean trying harder and thinking faster, and all that's great stuff because it's exciting to be in an environment where it's demanding like that. You know, the worst thing would be in a stultifying place where that's the way we've done it for 30 years. Well, that's the way maybe people have thought about it before, but that's not the scene now. It's how are we doing it now? How are we going to do it now to meet the current expectation, which is high and great? Nothing makes me happier than coming here and seeing at Proctor's and seeing tons of people. I get thrilled to see 50 kids playing a play of chess downstairs against the regional chess master, while there's a conference on the second floor, there's a show at the GE Theater, there's an open mic in Robb Alley, and there's something happening on the main stage. It just turns me on. It's just why we did it, and it's exciting as hell. I always go home happy. My wife sees me and goes, oh, I know, every room was filled again.